welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be crocheting and answering some questions that I asked on Instagram and TikTok. I didn't get a whole lot of questions because nobody wanted to ask me questions for this video, but I have enough, I think. I'm crocheting my mom's Mother's Day gift, which Mother's Day is in like 2 days. I'm making her a lighter holder and it's going to be a mushroom. And I have the pattern on my laptop here. And I was going to pull up the questions on the laptop too, but the photos wouldn't transfer fast enough to the laptop. So I just decided to write them down on a piece of paper. So let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to start with the top of the mushroom while I answer some questions. Also, I want to tell you guys some things. I like to use the middle of the yarn instead of the outside, but anyways, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's in frame or not. My bad if it is. I have my coffee in the frame and my Dr. Pepper in the frame. But anyways, this is what I use when I crochet. I use acrylic yarn depending on what I'm making. I'm using acrylic yarn for this, and then I use a 5mm crochet hook, which I use this hook all the time. This is the hook I use the most, which I probably should have sized down for this, but it didn't tell me what hook size to use, so I'm just gonna use this one. I always use scissors, obviously. A needle, which is for weaving in my ends, and then a stitch marker. So if you're wondering what you need to crochet, that's what you need. You don't necessarily need a stitch marker. You can use a piece of yarn to hold your stitches, but I have advanced. I'm gonna adjust this a little bit, sorry. But I have advanced a little bit, so I'm using stitch markers now. But anyways, let's get started. I'm gonna ask the first question and then I'm gonna start. The first question was from Alex, and she said, would you rather be a dinosaur or a caveman? And to that question, I don't know. Because if I was a dinosaur, I'd be dead right now. But if I was a caveman, I would probably also be dead right now. So honestly, I would probably, in that time, in the era, I would probably choose to be a dinosaur, because if I was a caveman, I would probably die faster than if I was a dinosaur. And if I was a dinosaur, I would be in history. I mean, I guess cavemen could be in history, but people could find my bones and put me on display. That's called a magic ring, and I just put 6 single crochets in the magic ring, if you were wondering. I'm making the top of the mushroom right now. I should have made it a different color, because I don't know if she's gonna want a different color. She asked me for one of these a long time ago, and I never made it because I was working on other stuff. But wait, I need to make sure. And when you're crocheting, when I'm crocheting, I get so focused, so if I look like I'm like zoned out, that's why. And I don't know if this video is gonna be good because I keep getting distracted. But anyways, got the first row done. It's very little, but this shouldn't take me long. I probably won't finish this during this video, but yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next question now. The next question was from Cecily, and she said favorite concert. My favorite concert was Daniel CV. But, well, actually it's a hard question because I've loved all the concerts I've been to. So it's kind of hard to choose like which one I like the most. I think that I went to see Benson, and I think that Benson was probably my favorite concert just because I had such an emotional connection, and I cried at that concert because I was surprised with that concert, because at the time Benson Boone was my favorite singer, and like nobody listened to him at the time, and so I was like, and he was like just going viral. It was such a good time there. But at Daniel's concert, he had Somber and Kyle Kelly opening for him, so it was awesome, and we got to meet Kyle. So I don't know, and then Daniel came out afterwards with Somber, and they sang a song. So I don't know. They sing 2 songs, but I don't know. I think that it will be Daniel. That would be my favorite concert, but Vincent will always have a place in my heart. I think that's the answer to that question, because I loved that concert. Whether I don't know. But my anxiety was at an all-time high at Vincent's concert because I hadn't been to a big concert like that before. I went to Post Malone in 2018, but that was whenever Post Malone was at his peak in his music. But we were in an arena and we had our own seats. So I wasn't around a whole bunch of people, but I don't know. So I would say Daniel's concert was my favorite concert. And I'm getting distracted again. I only did one stitch during that entire question. So I am getting distracted. I am very bad at multitasking. I have found to learn by just sitting here doing this. I cannot crochet and answer questions at the same time, I guess, but I'm gonna finish this row fast and then I will get back to the questions. Okay, I got my second row done. I'm looking at this now and I'm like, I probably should have sized down a hook. I don't know. You guys probably don't know because you probably don't crochet, but you can kind of see little holes in it. But also it's like super tight. But it's okay. I just did an increase round where I single crocheted and then increased because that's what it told me to do. But you guys don't know what that means. But if you guys want to learn, let me know and I'll make some tutorials. But anyways, I just finished that row and now we're gonna answer the second question, which is Isaiah asked what my favorite song or favorite song lyric is. That's a good question. Well, currently my favorite song, I don't really have a favorite song right now. I have a favorite album. I have been really enjoying listening to Noah Kahan's new album. I love it so much. My favorite song by him is Between Villages or Orange Juice. But those are not from his new album. I know, but the whole album is just really good. So, but I don't know what my favorite lyric would be. I love all the lyrics in all of the songs. But there were some lyrics that I really liked from his music, but I don't really remember what the lyrics were. Wait, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, I'm back. I remembered that I really like his song with Gracie Abrams, the Everywhere Everything, and I think that song has really good lyrics also, but most of Noah Kahan's music does have good lyrics, but that song really has good lyrics. You guys gotta go listen to it. But I also love Thomas Day, and I've been listening to Thomas Day a lot because whenever I figured out who he was, he had just gotten off a tour and he went to the city, and I was so sad that I missed that. But yeah, I don't really know if I have favorite lyrics just because I listen to so much music, and I like everybody's lyrics, and I also listen to Somber a lot. I really like his new song, but I don't know if I have favorite lyrics. I would say something Noah Kahan related because he has really good lyrics in his songs. They're like make me emotional and cry. But yeah, that would be the answer to that question. I finished row 3 while I was answering that question. But the next question is, where is it? Okay. Ingrid asked how long I am planning on doing YouTube videos, which this question, I don't know. I wanted to do YouTube for a really long time, so I think that I'll probably be doing this as long as, if I stop posting for a really long time, I'll probably just quit, but for now, I have video ideas lined up, so I think I'm gonna probably be doing this for a while. As long as I have time to, which we have a podcast channel, me, my sister, and Alex, so we'll be doing that for a while too. I'm not sure how long. I don't know if I have like a specific time frame for that question, but I would love to do this as like a job. So if my YouTube channel gets anywhere, I'll probably do it for a long time, but I just do it for fun right now. So I'd probably say that I'll probably be posting videos for a while, but if I go to college and I start doing college and stuff and I start to not want to do YouTube anymore, that's probably when I'll stop. Also, if my channel gets nowhere, like, I lose motivation, so I'll probably stop after that happens, if it happens. But right now I'm probably going to be doing it for a while. I'm trying to grow a following on here and on TikTok and stuff, so I've been really working for that. I've been going live with my sister, but we've been doing it on her account, so I'm gonna start going live on my own account too. Maybe crocheting while I'm live or something like that. I don't know yet. I'm just not comfortable going live by myself right now, so I've been going live with my sister. I did that clip too soon. I was gonna show you guys that I finished another row while I was just answering that question. So I'm on a roll. Next question is from Livia. Any advice for graduates? I do have some advice for graduates. First of all, don't stress. And if you're going to college, which I didn't go to college and I kind of regret it, but so if you are thinking about doing college and you're not sure, I would just do it. To be honest with you, I would just do it because I regret not going. I did cosmetology school. Sorry guys, I burnt my arm last night and I'm making sure the blister doesn't pop. But anyways, I went to cosmetology school for a few weeks and then I hated it. I absolutely hated it and I had to quit. I don't know if it was the school specifically that I didn't like or if it was just because, I don't know, but I did not like it there. If I would have went to a different school, I feel like I would have been able to finish, but I would be finishing in like 2 months and that kind of makes me sad. Sometimes I wish I would have stayed, but it is what it is. But I wish I would have went to college. So if you're like confused on whether or not you want to go to college or not, I would just do it. And another thing I would say is get a job, because it is really hard to live life without a job and without money. So get a job if you're not financially stable. Like if your parents are good and can give you money, then great, that's awesome. But I would get a job and drive. Learn how to drive if you can, because I still don't know how to drive and I regret not learning how to drive all the time. So that's the advice I have, which I also have more advice. Life is hard, okay? And you cannot let yourself get down and you have to keep pushing because it's not worth it. This time in your life is only going to be temporary. So you have to think about that. In 3, 4, 5 years from now, it's not going to be the same as it is now unless you let it be that way. So if you want to get somewhere, you have to push yourself, essentially, and you have to let yourself grow and get far. But you have to put in your time and effort, and you have to actually work for it if you want to build yourself up, you know? So that's the advice I have for any graduates. And I finished that round, so I'm proud of myself. I started the next row so that I could get it finished within the time of this next question. Okay, the next question was also from Olivia. She said, what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? Okay, actually I probably shouldn't have started this row yet because this question has a long answer. Okay, so anyways, it's really hard to count these stitches and talk at the same time. Sorry. You have to count a lot when you crochet, so if you don't like counting, then it's probably not for you. But anyways, I wanted to do a YouTube channel a lot whenever I was little. I would post random videos all the time when I was little, and I had creepy old men commenting on my videos, and so I deleted all my videos and I stopped posting. But I was like 12, 13, so I probably shouldn't have been posting anyways. But I always wanted to do a YouTube channel ever since I was little, and as I was getting older, I was going to start a YouTube channel while I was in high school, but I was afraid of what people would think and stuff like that. But now that I'm not in high school anymore and I'm graduated, I decided that I was finally going to try to start a YouTube channel. And I really like editing videos. Like, I used to make edits on TikTok all the time. I'm not showing you guys. That's embarrassing. But I finished the next row, by the way. I used to do YouTube. I used to do edits on on TikTok all the time, and I loved editing them. I loved editing videos. So I enjoy sitting down and editing my YouTube videos, and so I think that filming and editing is really fun for me. And I also don't mind being on camera. Like, genuinely, I like being on camera, and I'm comfortable with the camera and stuff like that. So I think that I just like filming, and I like having memories and stuff like that. So I guess that's what you could say. But I've always wanted to do this, so yeah, that's basically the only reason, is because I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, and now that I'm out of high school, I feel like I have an opportunity to do it. But yeah, that's the answer to your question. I almost got this room finished, but yeah, my YouTube channel, I just like to make memories on here. I like to post and edit, so that's one of the reasons I like doing YouTube, is because I can use my own creativity. And I was gonna post crochet content, but I was like, I kind of want to post other videos that I like to watch too. Finished that row. It's getting bigger. That's the process. But anyways, we're gonna go on to the next question. The next question is from Jacob, my boyfriend's brother. And he said, how did you and your boyfriend meet? Which is hilarious because it's my boyfriend's brother. But hang on. Okay. But we met in school. That's the short answer. Like, we met in school. We've been to school together since the 5th grade. Right, I'm just counting. We went to school together. I keep thinking that I'm hurting my blister because it hurts. But anyways, we've been to school together since 5th grade. He left 8th grade year, and I was actually upset about it but he was like mean to me in school, and he picked on me all the time. And whenever he came back from his other school that he left to go to, that's whenever he finally started talking to me and stuff. He put a note in my locker, by the way, and it said, I like you, but I didn't know it was him. My friends told me it was him, and they could tell by the handwriting, but I wasn't sure. So it was funny. But then we started talking during like Christmas break or something like that. I don't know. It was sometime in December. He started sliding up on my Snapchat stories, and then we started talking. And a few months later, that's when we started dating. And yeah, and then I had to tell my mom because I was really scared to tell my mom, but she was really happy for me. I just told my mom because he wanted me to go to the movies with him. And that's the only way I could go, is if I told my mom. But yeah, that's how we met. School. He was mean to me, and now we're together. It was crazy. If you would have told me in like 7th grade that I'd be dating him now, I wouldn't have believed you. But that's the answer to your question. I got the row done. I'm almost done with this. I can't believe there's so many more rows. I don't know, it looks big. I should have sized down my hook size, guys. I knew it. But anyways, next question. The next question is by somebody named Lillian. She's the only one that I didn't know that asked a question, so I'm gonna answer her question. She said, if you could teleport, where would the first place you would go? I don't know. That's a good question. I really want to visit Oregon and Washington. Like, that's one of my dream places to go. I would also like to visit other countries like Europe and stuff like that, but sorry, I keep getting distracted. But I think that if I could teleport anywhere, I would want to go back to Colorado too. There's a lot of places I want to go. So if I could teleport anywhere right now, it would probably be Oregon, so that I could visit up there because it's so beautiful, and I've always wanted to go there. And Washington, because my mind would feel at peace if I was there. Also Colorado, because I've been to Colorado, but I just miss it so much. Like, I felt like I had no worries in the world whenever I was there. But yeah, I think that's the answer to that question. I don't know. There's a lot of places I want to travel to and visit, but I think that's specifically where I would want to go. And I also finished the next row. I'm definitely not going to finish this in this video because I have 2 questions left and I'm only on the top. So I'm still on the top. So I've started and almost don't know what that was, but I started and almost finished this row because I how to count to 7. And if I counted to 7 while filming, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. That's so funny. Anyways, the next question is, Alyssa asked, if you could live anywhere you wanted, where and why? I think I would live somewhere out of the country, to be honest with you, if I could. Because I just want to experience what it would be like to live in a different country. But also, I feel like it'd be peaceful not living in the US anymore, but I would like to visit other places. I don't know if I would I don't want to live in Oklahoma, to be honest with you. I would rather move out of Oklahoma, but obviously I want to move out of Oklahoma. But if I had the opportunity, I would probably move out of the country, but obviously I can't, and I probably won't. But if I could, I would. But if it was in the United States, I would probably want to move to Colorado. My mom lived there and I really liked it there, so I'd probably move there. Or Oregon and Washington area, which I've already mentioned. But I made a TikTok about Oregon and Washington, and everyone was saying how amazing it was there and how they loved living there and stuff. So I was like, that sounds awesome. So probably those places. But if I could, outside of this country. I also forgot to mention I would love to visit Canada also, because I heard it's awesome there too. But yeah, that's the answer to that question. And I'm gonna finish this row and I'll be back. Okay, the next row is pretty complicated, so I'm definitely not going to be able to crochet and do that row at the same time, because it's the last row of this and it's like a frilly bottom, so I'm not going to be able to crochet and answer this question at the same time. So I'm going to answer it before I do that, but it's the last question, so I'll answer it and then I'll end the video. But Alex asked, what time period would you visit if you could? Honestly, I haven't really thought super deep into this question, because I don't know, I guess because I can't go back into those times. I'm drinking a 0 sugar Dr. Pepper, I hate one. But I would say probably not any of the times that were like wars or anything like that, because that's stressful. I would probably think like maybe the 80s or 90s or the early 2000s because those are like the time periods I know the most. But I haven't really thought about this question very much, so I probably don't have like an exact answer to that question, but I think that I wish to be a teenager in like the 1990s or the early 2000s or the 80s or something like that. But yeah, I think that's the answer to that question. But anyways, guys, this is how far I got in this video, which is pretty good, to be honest with you. But I couldn't finish it, the top, because of the last row, like I said. But I'll finish it real fast, and then I'll show you guys when it's done, and then I'll end the video. And I'll tell you guys bye. For some reason, my phone's not letting me record, and it says I have no storage, even though I pay for storage. This is the final top. I'll show you guys when it's done. It might be too big, I don't know. But I'll see you guys in my next video before this doesn't let me record anymore. Bye!